What's up, family? Welcome back to another video. So I came across this clip of a black mom and a dad just going off, completely fed up with the Democratic Party, and it wasn't just some political rant, okay? It was just everyday two parents being honest, having a dining room slash kitchen talk, I guess you want to call it. But they've been loyal to the Democrats their whole lives, and now they're done. And what hit me wasn't even what they said, it was how they said it. Calm, unfiltered, full of conviction. And you could tell this wasn't rehearsed, it was real. And honestly, you know, I could obviously understand where they're coming from based on the culture shift so far from basic truth that now common sense feels like rebellion. And the dad goes off about how he wants to see a man actually have a baby. Not hear about it, not read about it, not be told it's possible through tech or theory. He wants to see it. And when you hear him say it, you realize he's not angry. He's frustrated. Frustrated with being told that biology is optional, that gender is a costume, and that questioning this stuff is somehow hateful. And his wife, she's sitting there like so many moms out there, and aunties just shaking her head and saying, this ain't what we signed up for. So let's check it out, family.
Put a dress on
Exactly.
Did I give y'all permission? No, Mr. Johnson. We taking it right off now. But why did you put it on him?
Right.
So just like the majority of black baby boomers, my parents were lifelong Democrats who just left the party and they're fed up. They had no idea they were being recorded, but check it out, it's hilarious. Listen to my mom, how calm she is and how nice and Christian she is, then listen to my dad's response.
One is against the word of God.
Right.
I cannot support any party that's that's against the word of God. I'm sorry. I refuse.
Not only that, they can say
I
a man
stand
have
up
a
for
baby.
what I believe.
A man have a baby. A man have a baby. I want to see it with my physical eyes. I want to see this with my physical eyes. I want to see the baby come out as a baby, as a male, with all the male parts. I'm going to watch him grow up to a certain age, and I'm going to watch him have a baby. Can you produce that to me? If you can't, get out my face because you're lying.
That's another thing. You know, well, they not male or female. Let them determine what they gonna be.
Oh, yeah,
really?
that's happening.
Oh, really?
And you go to jail if you
God
don't.
created all things, and they not male or female. Let them decide. You got a 4-year-old. I'm not a girl. I'm a boy. Oh, really? Okay, you a boy, baby. Okay, let's go shopping.
Yeah.
Let's go shopping. Mommy get you whatever. Where's the daddy? Who knows? Because more than 9 out of 10, the daddy ain't gonna stand for it.
Now, it may be an AI. Now you can make an AI however you want to make an AI. But I'm saying this. I want to see a woman, make sure she's a woman, have a male, watch this male grow up the right way without y'all cutting on him, and then I want to see him have a baby.
Right.
I want to see this from. I don't want you telling me what can happen. I want to see it for myself. I don't care if it takes 15 years. Okay, I'll be 80. And I want to see it.
And that's something that would never be seen.
I want to see it.
It's impossible. It would never be seen. We know that. We tell them that. But they so dumb. They believe it. They actually believe it themselves.
I know.
Oh yeah, a man can have a baby. Oh
That's
really?
all they got to do.
A
People in
man can
Congress.
have a period.
And I ain't
Yeah,
talking
that's
about
another
no
one, period.
doggone seahorse neither. I ain't talking about no seahorse.
You said seahorse.
Seahorse having kids. Okay, I don't believe it, but I ain't saw it neither. But they say that's what happened.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's what
they say.
They didn't say that's what happened.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
But I ain't talking about no seahorse. I'm talking about a man. Period. Show me a man, physical man, not an AI, not something that you didn't create in the lab.
XY chromosome.
I want to see it. I want to see a man and a woman. I don't want to see them with my physical eyes, but I want to know they're the only two in the room. That's all I want to see. I want to make sure they're the only two in the room.
That's funny.
I don't understand.
It's impossible.
I can't believe it's so hard to believe that society, that we're in a world like today, you know?
Well, there you have it, folks. So, and then I'll go to the next clip in just a second. But then we get into what this means culturally. This isn't just about politics, it's about people waking up to how far things have gone. And it's about realizing that parties are changing. And sometimes the one you were loyal to doesn't stand for your values anymore. And it's okay to admit that. And it's okay to evolve, especially when the truth is smacking you in the face every time you turn on the news or walk outside. And then we get into Stephen A. Smith, who is in the next clip here, who, let's be real, is not a conservative by any stretch, calling out the Democrats for being obsessed with being anti-Trump than actually governing. And that's the point. When a party gets so caught up in hating one man, then they forget to serve the people. That's when folks start walking away. Then um, we'll get into the clip right after the Stephen A. Smith clip of Trump derangement syndrome. Well, no further ado, let's check out what Stephen A. Smith had to say.
I will say this to you. When you look at the state of affairs right now, I'm looking at Newsweek just a few days ago. Trump is gaining traction within the Democratic Party. Black voters, young voters, he did it during the election, but it seems to be the trajectory seems to be going in a forward direction. You pointed to the mayor of Chicago and his stance and how counterproductive that appears to be. You showed Jasmine Crockett. They haven't realized yet that if it's AOC or it's Jasmine Crockett, there's a reason Sean Hannity shows them every chance he gets. He wants them to be illuminated. He wants them to be front and center for the Democratic Party because it will ensure that the Republicans are going to win in 2026 and 2028. I'm just saying.
I'm not hiding it.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I got you. I'm not faulting you for it. I'm simply saying it shows you how tone deaf they are because their focus seems to be on doing anything, being the antithesis of Trump instead of helping to govern the country. And when the book comes out and that stuff is revealed, it makes it even worse. I'm
waiting for the day you come back on this show and say, Hannity, you were right about Donald Trump. You did a good job. Stephen A., we love you. Appreciate you.
Excuse me. There's some things that he might be doing good.
I got to go.
He ain't doing everything wrong. Not everything. All right.
We love you. All right.
Now, Sean Hannity, as we know, he's pro-Democrat. Obviously, we know that Stephen A. Smith is nowhere near a conservative or a Republican. He has been Democrat and voted Democrat for majority of his life, or most of the time, as Stephen A. Smith would say. But you can tell the difference between two Democratic Party, but it also shows the shift within the Democratic Party within itself. They don't even like talking to each other, even when one person in the Democratic Party that's on the left is being reasonable and talking about what the people are saying and actually speaking on behalf of the sentiment of the people. And you can see Sean Hannity ready to wrap this thing up and dismiss Stephen A. Smith because he calling out how tone deaf the Democratic Party is, because they are basically running with their agenda and not actually caring for the needs of the people when they're getting paid by taxpayer dollars to govern the people, just like Stephen A. Smith was saying. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you can tell how um the Democratic Party is in an uproar and they're not even engaged within themselves within the party, and they can't even come to the table to have a reasonable discussion on behalf of their ultimate purpose of serving the people, because they are public officials. They have jobs that are to the public and they have been elected to be in that position by the people, we the people. And the Democratic Party doesn't care to hear what the American people have to say. That's why Stephen A. Smith called him tone deaf. But you can see Sean Hannity is basically running from accountability and didn't like it. So he said, come on, I got things to do. I don't want to hear it no more. So the Democratic Party has been showing and basically been proving the mantra of, if you don't want to hear what I got to say and you're not going to go along with the get along, then you need to get out the way, because they want people that agree with them. But you cannot govern people based on the logic of, if you got to agree with what I'm saying and everything I'm saying is right. And if you don't agree with what I'm saying, we got a problem. Well, the beautiful part is having dialogue from different perspectives, because then you get an overall rounded viewpoint of things so you can make the logical decision, because you have looked at everything. You have looked at everything from different lenses to be proactive, to be productive, to be more knowledgeable from all angles, and not just the one lens that you want to look through and you want people to agree with you just because um you want to hear what you want to hear. That's like a man in a relationship with a female or a female in a relationship. They going to be with somebody that says what they want to hear. Well, then it destroys the relationship because the beauty of it is two minds is better than one. But if the other person can't even have their opinion to bring their perspective to the table, y'all ultimately make a decision, or the man lead, because I'm a traditional type of guy where the man leads, but he took in suggestion to heed and listen to his wife or his girlfriend and her different perspective and not excluding her or condemning her for having a different perspective. It sharpens the man in the relationship or the marriage, because it's like, oh honey, I didn't think that way. I appreciate that perspective, but we gonna move this way. You know what I'm saying? It's just mind blowing to me. But now there's a clip about um basically, where's the young lady at? Where's the young lady? About Trump derangement syndrome. I had it up. Let me see if I can find it. 1 second, family. Um, let me see. Let me see if I could get it up. I had it. One second. Mm, What is this lady name? I think this is it. Here we go. So I want you guys to hear what she had to say. Check it out.
It's a certain group whose whole personality now, since the election, revolves around hate. They don't even have a personality anymore. They whole personality, everything about them revolves around hating the president. They don't post about their accomplishments no more. They don't post about what their kids doing, their spouse. They don't have no birthdays, no anniversaries, no holidays. They literally get up in the morning. They wake up. They don't even know if they pee hole work yet. They get up, don't know if they can walk, nothing. They just grab that phone and go find whatever anti-Trump hate memes they can post on Facebook. They don't even know if they right lawn working yet. They just know, I just woke up, so I need to spread hate about the president of my country. They honestly, they don't have nothing else going on, and that's literally their personality now. Their whole personality is, I hate the president. I have never seen anything like it. And you wonder why people stop listening to y'all and really ain't even going towards that party anymore, because you're literally insane at this point.
There you have it. So look, people who literally can't post a birthday pic without bringing up Trump, their whole identity is built on hating Donald Trump. And honestly, it's weird. That kind of obsession is not normal in my opinion, and it's why people um are asking, what are we even doing anymore? Where's the focus on real issues, on helping families, on rebuilding trust? See, when you already have an ideology or a perceived perception of someone, this is why I always say you can't you can always um renew the mind of a child, right? And I go based off it, the change is in the renewing of the mind. But I always say you can't change grown people's minds because they already got their minds made up. So if someone has a perception of someone, even if it's some things they may not agree with, they use that one perception they do not agree with somebody and literally dislike them in its entirety and exclude them as a person, to the point where you have this derangement syndrome, where you have so much hate in your heart that you don't even see the logical things or the valuable things that the person does or says that's actually valuable in regards of being valuable to that community, being valuable to the world. In this case, being valuable to the United States, because we're talking about President Trump specifically. That's a problem, right? And that's what this video is about. Not about pushing a party line, but it's about asking real questions and respecting people who are brave enough to say, this doesn't make sense anymore. It's about a shift that's happening whether the media wants to talk about it or not. Everyday people that are speaking up, and I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? So now I want to show you guys another clip in regards of, this whole NBA young boy. He's a rapper, a young rapper, very popular, and Larry Hoover. Check it out.
On this page, and I say I'm done talking about Trump, but I'm back one more time. That's it. If you don't like Trump, it's fuck you. If I know you personally, it's still fuck you. I still rock with you, no hard feelings, but it's Trump all day over here, bro. Like, for real, like, hear me out. We just found out he's the reason why NBA YoungBoy came home. He's about to do this tour. And then they just announced Larry Hoover just partnered with Trump. Guess what? That means Larry Hoover coming home. Fuck is you talking about? Like I said, like Trump he do some fucked up shit here and there, but he's not a bad person. And if you really pay attention, I want everybody to really pay attention to comments, everything. It's only African, I'm gonna say fuck it, black females that been down, that don't like Trump, that down talking about. It's only them, because why? No more Section 8 for y'all and no more food stamps. That means y'all can't just be lazy no more.
Now, I do believe that Trump could strategically release NBA YoungBoy. NBA YoungBoy is popular within the black community, popular artist. He has his music. I'm not really a fan of his music like that, but obviously NBA YoungBoy has a big influence, and he's a very young guy. This is NBA YoungBoy to put a name to a face, right? This is a rapper. He's 25 years old, right? This is NBA YoungBoy. All right. So I do believe that it was strategic in regards of, reaching out or getting more influence within the black community of why he released NBA YoungBoy. And I know that he didn't fully release Larry Hoover, but he commuted Larry Hoover's sentence. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm always open to the possibility of being wrong. We just having a productive conversation here. However, individuals, me being raised in a black family, and just from my experience, I'm speaking from my experience, and individuals, I have cousins younger than me who are NBA YoungBoy fans, and they're like, free NBA YoungBoy. Why did President Biden didn't do something? And a lot of people, this is my question. A lot of people I always ask, because I have pro-democratic people in my family. My grandmoms is pro-democrat. I have people who believe that, that the Democratic Party, I have been told, is where they give the most money. Literally. And the reality is, if you are so pro-black, and I'm speaking to those people that are pro-black, I'm just having a conversation, and I want to understand you guys' perspective, then why haven't the Democratic Party released any individuals that you have rallied behind to be released in your culture to be parted by any Democratic president? Let me know down in the comments. But it took for Donald Trump to do it. Just put it out there, just being objective, just speaking of facts. I'm going to leave it there. Now, this is the last clip I have. And it says, when was Donald Trump a racist? Let's check out what this guy had to say. And I give my thoughts and opinions. And we just here to have a conversation, all right? So I want you guys to check it out.
My people, huh? Can we have a quick discussion real quick? Can we get a rap? I couldn't make it to the last black delegation, but I have something to say now. Check this out. When are we as a people gonna stop saying that Donald Trump is racist? What's it gonna take? Because at this point, it's clear as day that the man's not racist. Ain't got a racist bone in his body. When are we gonna, what does he need to do? It started out, he freed Kodak Black. I don't even know why. When he did that, I couldn't even believe he did that shit. I was like, he freed Kodak Black? Why did he do that? If Democrats had it their way, they would let Kodak Black, he would still be in jail. So when are we gonna say that, yo, Donald Trump is clearly not racist? Now, icing on the cake, he's doing more shit. He's freeing more black people. He just freed another black woman who was falsely imprisoned, freed her, then hired her to be on cases of people who are falsely imprisoned. Trump did that. When are we gonna stop saying? I don't even want to say this, but I'm hearing through the grapevine, somehow, some way, Larry Hoover's about to get free. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know what the hell's going on. The only way, I think, the only way Trump can up what he's doing right now for black people, like, and freeing people and giving people pardons, is that he just goes to Tory Lanez like, all right, you out. He's just gonna free Tory Lanez like, fuck all that Megan Thee Stallion shit, that was all a lie, you out. He gonna fuck around, free Tory Lanez on our ass. Yeah. So at what point are we gonna stop saying that, okay, clearly Democrats have been shoving it down our throats that Donald Trump is racist, and we're not buying it no more? At what point are we gonna be like, all right, we're not buying it, he ain't racist, you good, you got it, big dog, you good? At what point are we gonna do it? That's all I'm asking. Let me know.
All right, so there you have it. That was being said. With that being said, family, I want to have a conversation. Now, that's all the clips I have for today. Always stemming all the way back to these parents. All right. Now, what I want to say and have a discussion on to end this video, because I'm about to conclude and close. Let's be real. Trump's not perfect, but he got results. You know, he has results for all communities. I'm not tying it just to the black community. But look, the First Step Act, economic opportunity zones, prison reform. That's why NBA Youngboy and Larry Hoover are in talks tied to Trump. That's action, not talk. Right? And people are finally seeing it for what it is. But the reality is, I like how Trump is advocating for prison reform and looking at the facts, because let's have a deeper conversation with the whole Megan Thee Stallion situation, right? This situation that he was mentioning, the guy in this last clip on TikTok, and Tory Lanez, right? Apparently, from what I understand is, Tory Lanez is a popular rap artist. Megan Thee Stallion is a popular rap artist in the hip hop community. So, Megan Thee Stallion accused Tory Lanez of shooting her in the foot. But there has been suppressed evidence, even body cam footage from police, in regards to the matter where she stepped on glass, and she admitted it, and even was in the hospital, admitted it more than 3+ times that she stepped on glass and she never was shot. But she was asking was she going to be locked up because she was worrying about protecting her image. But Tory Lanez took the rap and said that he did shoot her. He denied the allegations that he did shoot her in the foot and never did. But he was already convicted in a court of public opinion by females and everybody else, saying, how could he dare shoot a woman in the foot because he don't want to be with her no more? Because apparently they tangled, they were boyfriend and girlfriend. Megan Thee Stallion said they were never boyfriend and girlfriend. But in the video, and body cam footage, when he was in the police station being for questioning, he was saying they were boyfriend and girlfriend, and Megan Thee Stallion saying they weren't boyfriend and girlfriend. But Megan Thee Stallion did admit that they slept together, right? So the whole situation was, women are trying to say, oh, Tory Lanez is mad because she moved on, so he shot her in the foot. A whole theory behind it. And then that's when the reality is Megan Thee Stallion wanted to save her image. The things that she accused this man of never really happened. There was suppressed evidence, meaning the body cam footage and video footage that wasn't released, now coming out because Tory Lanez had been stabbed 14 times in prison, literally like 2 weeks ago, and nearly lost his life in prison. And the person that was the bodyguard for Megan Thee Stallion team, or, because Megan Thee Stallion had a friend with her named Kelsey or whatever. And the bodyguard of her team on her side, who's not under NDA, he's able to speak, and he finally spoke out because he couldn't live with the guilt of Tory Lanez possibly losing his life, being stabbed 14 times. Thank goodness the man is recovering and he's still alive, but he couldn't sleep with that on his heart, knowing that he didn't speak up about Tory Lanez never shooting Megan Thee Stallion in the first place. So my question goes to you guys, Donald Trump, and tying this to Donald Trump, is the prison reform, and how I'm looking at it and how Donald Trump is looking at it, how I think he's looking at it for the most part, is men are getting convicted no matter what color you are, and just men, period, are being convicted off of lies on an everyday basis. And they take the fault, they be convicted within the court system, and they be convicted within the public opinion of the people, and then they just take their rap and go to jail for things they nearly have never done on a daily never have done on a daily basis due to allegations and them going into the system. And then it also raises our taxes as regular everyday citizens who go to work as tax-paying citizens, because we have to pay for them to have um a cot, or you know, a cell with a bed, a cot, and a hot meal. How do you think the prison systems are funded? Due to taxpayers. So the more people that's being in prison, the more we pay for those individuals to live in the prison, all warm and cozy in a cell. So the thing is the Democratic Party really trying to stop this systematic thing of the system not being correct when it comes to convicting people and actually stating the facts? And because nothing's perfect. I do believe in our court system, but the question I'm asking is, the court system has been the same way for years, and men have been convicted for things that they don't do on a regular basis, just based on allegations and lies, for someone being bitter. In this case, when I'm talking about tying it to the Tory Lane story, women lying on men on a daily basis, and they take the rap and they take the fall. And then taxpayers have to pay, and then the man should never been in a prison in the first place. So we're paying for extra person, or more people going to the prison system. We're paying from our taxes, everyday people, for them to be taken care of in prison. So is the Democratic Party trying to stop this? Trying to change the system to be better, convicting people? Because there's always room to be better. All of us need to, a company, the prison, you name it, you, me. So is the Democratic Party willing to look at the prison system and say, hey, we need to do some changes so we can be a better court system? Not saying that we aren't great in convicting people, but we can be even better. Or is the Democratic Party letting men suffer on a daily basis like this and being lied on, where the court system is so engulfed in getting monies, and because if you look at it, taxpayers fund the judge for the judge to get paid. Judges get paid by the taxpayer dollars because they are public officials, basically serving the community with pure intentions to protect the community, right? Lawyers and prison systems. But what is the thing of what is the thing of the taxpayers? How is it fair to the taxpayers to be paying for a system that is convicting people wrongly in some areas that need to be fixed? Let me know down in the comments. You don't. I don't see the Democratic Party doing it. I say they saying that the system is fine the way it is, and if anything, they don't see no reform of even looking at releasing individuals who may be wrongly convicted. But you see where Trump, he is, right? And there's no such thing as a perfect president. We're not going to agree with everything. I don't agree with everything everybody's saying. I understand everybody's not going to agree with everything I'm saying, but it's all right to have a productive conversation. That's the beauty of it. But let me know down in the comments. I just wanted to say that. With no further ado, family, I hope you guys got some value from this video. And I wanted to be a thought-provoking video to get some value from it and just have a conversation, because I look at you guys like family. We just here to have a conversation with the whole thing, to not only be better, but do better, spreading peace, love, and positivity, and using our minds, you know what I'm saying? Using common sense and thinking more, you know what I'm saying? And not just letting things be told to us for what it is, but actually looking at it for what it is and actually having a conversation. Love you guys. Spread that peace, love, and positivity. Let the love supersede the hate always. On that note, family, peace.